Hey evil fans, welcome to Tori Talks TV. In this video, I'll be discussing Evil Season 2, Episode 13, the finale! We made it! This episode is called C is for Cannibal. And just a little warning, there's going to be major spoilers because I'm going to be recapping this episode. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so it starts off with David being interrogated by members of the church, including Renee. We get to see a familiar face. She has to ask questions too because she's representing the church from a legal standpoint. And she asks him, are you doing this for you or for my sister? And he says both, which I found very interesting. I'm starting to feel the doubt seeking in again, but I mean, he's like 3 days away. He's got to go through with this now. Then he's sitting in his car at 10 and 2, thinking about a naked woman. Here we go again. And then he meets up with Ben, Kristen, and Hannibal Lecter, or AKA Mitch, who is craving human flesh. There's our C for cannibalism. And Mitch's urge is getting stronger and stronger. And then he says that he's having dreams of something dark chasing him. And then they have to interview his dorm mate about it, who says that Mitch has to zip tie himself to his bed so that he doesn't go over and bite him. That's not a dorm mate that I would like to have, I'll tell you that much. And then the trio sees this trail of blood that leads to a sign that says 3 a.m. haunt. So of course our trio is gonna have to go to the 3 a.m. haunt, which basically they find wine. David sticks his finger in the liquid before he even knows what it is. I would never do that, but you know, whatever. It just turns out to be wine. Then you see bodies start coming out of the wall, out of drawers, and it turns out it's just these pre-med students who apparently really like to sleep in drawers. Okay, so that doesn't really turn out to be anything very interesting, but David wanders off and has a whole thing happen to him. He finds a winged, horned creature eating a cadaver, and then this creature starts chasing him. And then he talks to Sister Andrea about it later, and she says it's real. What he's experiencing is real. Again, this whole season we've been trying to figure out as the viewers, is any of this real? She says it is, and it can hurt you because it hurt her. She has a mark on her from the tail of a demon. Then she later has a dream about that similar creature, and she stabs him with a cross in the dream, and he's speaking that other language. Anyway, let's get into some more fun stuff. They hold a surprise party for Father Acosta, and it's really nice to see most of the cast there. Everybody maybe without Leland, which I'm totally fine. I did not miss him, but it was neat to see them all in one room. And I always love seeing Ben the Magnificent with the girls. I think it's just so adorable, even though they all talk in unison, but he's so good with children. And then you see Dr. Kurt talking to Sister Andrea about the demon that he saw, and she gets real serious, and she's like, stop creating fictions to avoid God, and she says, you have to go get baptized right now, or that demon is going to take you to hell when you die. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, just the look on his face. And then Lexis at that party tells Kristen that she smells like a dead body. I don't really know, we don't really... If anybody could explain that to me, I'm not really sure what that has to do with anything. But she tells Dr. Kurt that, and that's when Dr. Kurt decides to say that he might be having a midlife crisis and he needs to take 2 months off. He has been a little out of sorts, a little more unwound than usual, so I think a little break would do him well. But he does say before he leaves her that she needs to probably deal with these feelings from the murder because, you know, we don't just forget about stuff like that. All right, and then Mitch is on the loose, which is never a good thing, and he's about to eat a cadaver, and then you see there's a sigil on the top of the cadaver's head. Kristen has to interview him, and then Leland shows up, because of course Leland shows up. Always. He's never wanted, always unwanted. And then they like tell on each other to Monsignor and David, and then she ends up hitting him with her stiletto, which I enjoyed way too much. And then Leland later throws Mitch a surprise birthday party. It's his new birthday, but then Mitch must eat that sigil of flesh from his predecessor's head, the cadaver. So there's this whole ritual where they have to, I don't know, the person before them, they have to consume them. It's a whole weird evil thing. Now, it's the day of David's ordination. This is where things get super juicy. I'm more excited than I should be about this. Okay, so David, though, is still seeing visions of naked women. And he's, you know, everything's going according to plan. Kristen's there with the girls, and then Leland's there. Again, of course, Leland's there. And then he hands Lexis a note that says, daffodil. Here we go again. So Kristen asks her about it outside, and she admits that Leland has been coming to her school and talking to her. What are you talking about? So of course Kristen is just beside herself about this, obviously. After they get home, the girls kind of go off, do their own thing. Kristen's coming up with a plan, and then you see Lexis take out a book, a pop-up book. The pop-up book that we have been seeing all season long, with the whole O is for ovophobia, C is for cannibalism, and then written on the last page is daffodil. This freaking daffodil again. I am so scared for Lexis. I can't stand it. So Kristen grabs her weapon of choice, the ice axe, and all I'm thinking is she's gonna go kill Leland. And I'm like, is this really gonna happen? Oh my gosh, no. She ends up at David's place. This is where it gets kind of juicy. So she goes there, and the acting is brilliant as always, and she says that she was on her way to kill Leland. David can't really believe it because he doesn't know her murderous ways, and then she asks for a confession, and she's like, can you do that? Yeah, we're cool. And then she just starts confessing, and she's super emotional. She confesses to the murder of LaRue, and you know, David's being very professional, as he should be, and he's consoling her. They recite a prayer, and then he absolves her of her sins. And then the moment I've been waiting for 2 seasons happens. They hug. That's not it. Then they kiss. And it gets pretty hot and heavy, but that's all we get. And you know what? If that's all we get, then I'm okay with that, because that was a long time coming. How did you all feel about that? I know I feel really bad. I feel like I should pray or do confession, because I feel bad that I'm rooting for infidelity and for David to basically just break everything that he has worked so hard for. But I mean, this show has been leading up to this. In my mind, it has been. Oh my gosh, so they really didn't wrap things up like I thought they would, but at least I got that moment, so I'm happy about it. Oh my gosh, Evil fans, what did you think of this episode? Please comment below. I am going to miss you guys so much. You guys have been such a light in my life, even though this is a show about evil, but it's been so much fun talking to you and discussing the show. I cannot thank you enough, and season 3 is gonna feel like forever away. Till we see each other again. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye, everybody.